on location today. Yeah, just let me know if the audio is working all right. I'm trying to multitask here. I'm with a client all day today. So I'm just doing this on my walk to get a bite to eat. But yeah, bit of a test of technology here. But yeah, if the sound doesn't work or whatever, just let me know in the chat. I should still be able to see the chat. Famous last words though, right? So, guys, for those who don't know me, if they're just tuning in the first time, I'm Jimmy from My Online Guy. We're a digital marketing agency based in Mandurah, Western Australia. And, long story short, I'm just sick of seeing businesses get ripped off. So I am doing a daily live stream on marketing as a collectively, marketing the whole digital marketing space, and what works, what doesn't, and what you should look for as a business in the marketing space, right? So yesterday, if you didn't get a chance, go watch yesterday's live stream on what SEO actually is. I'll give you a bit of context today. Today's going to be a little bit more hypothetical and theoretical, but I'm going to talk about what SEO can and can't do for a business. That's pretty important to understand and know. The first thing I want to say is that SEO typically is not a silver bullet. It's not a silver bullet. Everyone, I get a lot of businesses come to me, they're like, oh, Jimmy, I want to do SEO. A mate of mine's done it. He's gotten really good results and it's going to solve all my business problems. SEO doesn't do that. SEO, and like any marketing, it's just an extension. It just amplifies good or bad business. So, if your business isn't on point and your processes aren't there, or your website's not very good, or the bottom of the funnel where it's designed to convert is not done well, then don't even worry about doing SEO yet. Get all that stuff fixed first because you get the best return from that. Once you get all that stuff fixed, then look at doing SEO. Now, where does SEO fit into the grand scheme of a business? It's a good question. I get asked it a lot. Again, it really, there's an age-old saying in SEO, and that is it depends. And that holds true with this comment as well. It really depends on the type of business you are to where you'll see the success from SEO. Now, SEO can be a very powerful tool for generating inquiries in the right industries. In certain industries though, SEO doesn't actually work that well. And let me define how that works. So if you're a plumber, it's a very transactional based industry. So you can really break businesses down into several ways to break down the types of businesses, but let's say transactional and non-transactional. So relationship type businesses and transactional type businesses. Now, there's a lot of plumbers that have big relationships, but I'm more talking about the industry itself. So what I mean by a transactional based business is that it's a business that you go to when something's wrong, and it's really about getting a result. So like plumbing, for instance, if you got a blocked toilet, you're not necessarily going to care about quality of service and support. You just want your toilet unblocked, to be completely honest. And so it's a very transactional based business. Whereas bathroom renovations is a lot more about the people you're working with, results, things like that. So it's not as transactional, it's a bit more relationship based. So that's the first thing I'll touch on, is if you have a transactional based business, the one that relies on volume, but it's very transactional, it's like cause and effect, SEO works amazingly well. And I'm getting a phone call. Let's just decline. So, like I said, plumber, where someone's calling up because they've got a specific plumbing issue that they need addressing, works really well. But also, hydraulic company. If you've got a hydraulic cylinder that's busted and needs fixing, you're gonna look for someone to fix that. So, and with that, it also works amazingly well if it's not someone you have in your immediate network that can fix it for you. So, not all of us know hydraulics person, right? A hydraulic fitter. So generally, you're not going to ask your network to know someone. You're gonna just go on Google and type in hydraulic cylinder repairs. So SEO works amazingly well for industries like that. Where it doesn't work well is in two things. Firstly, the main place I find that SEO isn't the silver bullet and just underperforms relative to other stuff is when it's a relationship type industry. So like real estate agents, mortgage brokers, things like that. I get a lot of them approach me about doing SEO, and I'm like, guys, there's actually better ways to generate business than SEO. And the reason it doesn't work that well is because search isn't generally the thing you do to find a mortgage broker. You may do it out of desperation at the last minute, but most people will jump on Facebook or ask their network, because generally so is someone in that industry, and it's a very relationship based. It's very relationship heavy. So if you have a business that your immediate thought is not to search it, it's to use another channel, then SEO, there's better fits that you should be prioritizing than SEO. So I get a lot of mortgage brokers ask me, can you rank me for mortgage brokers manager? And I should certainly rank you for that. Is it going to get you the outcomes you need to get to the next level or achieve the goal you're trying to achieve? Probably not. Because the volume of search for mortgage brokers manager is there, but it's not as qualified, it's not as high a volume as increasing your referral network to the point where you get second and third tier of referrals contacting you. That's what you should be doing. So that's where it doesn't work. Another place it doesn't work super well at SEO is in really obscure niches. So, for instance, a good example of that would be like, what is a good example of that? Just something you wouldn't generally search for, because you don't know what you're actually typing in to find it. So, like I've got a client that I've spoken to, and they were looking at they do like this like wooden art. What's the best way to explain it? Educational like jigsaw art. And I said to her, I was like, what would you actually type into Google to find that? And neither of us could come up with an answer. So search isn't the best course of action immediately for someone like her. It really is, discovery type platforms like Facebook or Instagram, things like that. So just something to consider. Like if you have a business that's obscure and it's very difficult to articulate in a query, then SEO may not be the best fit. Now, SEO does fit into a grander strategy. Like once like I said, SEO is a great amplifier of good or bad business. So if you're running a good business, really good bottom of funnel, then SEO can be amazing for that to help. But you've got to be honest about what SEO can and can't do for a business. And that's they're great examples of what it can and can't do. So if you're a plumber, electrician, hydraulics company, plumber, like those kind of like service-based industries, amazing. SEO works amazingly well for that. If selling a widget that no one really knows yet, or you're a mortgage broker, real estate agent, then SEO, it fits into the strategy, but it wouldn't be my first pick for something to do from a marketing perspective. But then having an obscure niche doesn't necessarily write off SEO either. If you're a funeral director, SEO actually works surprisingly well for that, because it's something you don't know in your network, and you pretty much know for a fact that you're not going to know a funeral director. So people will type in funeral director's manager to have that conversation. Even though it is relational, it's relationship based, and it's obscure, it still works as very well for SEO. So that's my bellwether. If it's an industry where most people find it through word of mouth, then SEO wouldn't be my first choice. There's plenty of ways to increase your word of mouth and your referral than just using SEO. SEO is a good tool for finding new customers, but not such a good tool for reactivating old customers, because that's what the bottom of the funnel sequence is about. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, where SEO works really well, if you're looking at doing SEO, is and what it can do amazingly well is increasing authority of a business. So there's a lot of searches that are commercial in intent, and we touched on that yesterday. So when someone's typing in a plumber and manager, they're instantly looking for a plumber and manager from a commercial standpoint. But, there's a whole bunch of people that are typing in like how to unblock a drain, how to do this, how to do that, where they're trying to work out if they need a plumber or not. SEO works amazingly well for those searches. If you can capture that traffic, there's a huge amount of volume in that traffic, and then you just use ways of funneling it to commercial intent. So like it might be someone searching like how to unblock a drain, hypothetically. Then you can just use different ways, banner ads, inline ads, to go, oh, are you after a plumber and mandra, or block drains getting you down? Talk to our team at thing, and then immediately you've got the authority. So it can work amazingly well for building authority and being expertise in the industry. So like accounting firms. So like good example of that, we work with a financial planning business, and from a traditional SEO standpoint, financial planners manager and stuff like that, it is effective, but not as effective as just building a network, right, of high net wealth individuals. But where we are getting a huge amount of results for this gentleman is in when you type in, tax requirements for retirees, things like that. And then we're providing, because it's information heavy, it's an information heavy industry, and not everyone knows a lot about it. If you're providing that information, and then you're like, well, need help, financial planning help, say hypothetically, that you're the first person they contact, and he generates a lot of leads from content, and that's a good way to take an industry that's obscure and turn it in and use SEO to help push that along. So keep that one in your back of your mind as well. Like, or because you're a mortgage broker, and maybe traditionally people aren't just Googling you as a mortgage broker's manager, they may be Googling what's the best, how do I find the best interest rate on a house, or what do banks look for? You type in at like 8 o'clock at night when you're buying a new product. If you're a car yard, that's what I would be doing, because car yard, people are going to, there's probably people in car yards, Mandra, but nowhere near the volume that people typing in what's the car for this, or what should I use, loans, things like that. So just that's a really good way to generate inquiries through SEO for non-traditional industries that the immediate thought isn't to search for the business itself, is use non-commercial content to convert them. So guys, I'm going to finish this one here, keep it nice and quick. So key takeaways is that SEO is not a silver bullet. It doesn't work on all. It's effective in all industries, but the level of effectiveness is what changes. So, just remember that SEO isn't a silver bullet. It's not going to fix bad business practices. It's just going to amplify them. And then it's not as black and white as ranking for plumber mandra or mortgage brokers mandra. There's plenty of ways you can use SEO to increase the amount of qualified leads you get. And it's just a matter of talking to someone that can help you through that. And that's why I want to build this course, is to remove that stigma and give people a bit of an education on what they should be trying to achieve with something like SEO and other digital marketing. So guys, if you found this helpful, let me know. Ask any questions. I'll answer them tomorrow when I do tomorrow's live stream. Tomorrow's live stream is going to be on KPIs and how you should be holding an agency accountable to SEO. So tune in for that one if you're interested. And besides that, have a great day. I've got to finish this one now, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.